Hello, welcome back to Math 109, Calculus 1 here at Cal Poly Humboldt this summer, 2023. This is Dr. Tyler Evans, and in this third short video, I want to go over the highlights and important points in our course syllabus. Hopefully, if you haven't already done so, you should stop this and go back. I made a short introduction video where I kind of introduced myself. I'm assuming that you've seen it. I made a second video where I kind of walk you around the Canvas page. I hope you've looked at that and walked around the Canvas page yourself and got yourself oriented. So in this video, we're going to focus on the contents of the course syllabus. That document's linked here from the center of the page where I created a lot of links. You can also navigate to it using the main navigation tool over here on the left. That's what I'm going to do. So the top part of the syllabus is my contact information, what course this is, Math 109, the term, I'm Tyler Evans, some ways to contact me. Email is absolutely the best way to contact me. I'm assuming that in this intensive 5-week course that we're going to need to communicate with each other. So during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m., I'm going to do my very best to diligently monitor my email inbox. So you can expect quick turnaround if you need to contact me with questions, concerns, anything relevant to the course. Email is the way to do that. You can also, this phone number is my Cal Poly Humboldt office. I won't physically be in that office a lot during our 5-week course. So that'll create some delay in getting back to me if you prefer to communicate with me via voicemail, but it's not impossible. You can also write me in the Canvas messaging system. But I do prefer email because the Canvas messaging system is something that is a little bit harder for me to monitor continuously. I will monitor it. It'll just probably increase the delay time of me getting back to you just a little bit. All right. The course mode, we're going to meet online asynchronously starting May 30th through June 30th. So it's going to be an intensive 5-week course. And I'm not going to have regular scheduled office hours, but I will be available by appointment. So we'll have to set that up with a little bit of lead time. And again, those appointments can be made during regular business hours. Prerequisite information, I'm assuming that you've had a course in pre-calculus, including trigonometry. So that would be Math 102 here at Humboldt State or its equivalent. Or perhaps you took a 2-sequence course, college algebra, and then trigonometry again here at Cal Poly Humboldt. That would be Math 101 or 101T or their equivalent. This course doesn't have regular meeting times. In the course overview video, I made some suggestions about how to pace yourself through the material, so I won't repeat that here. But it is an intensive asynchronous 5-week online course. And to be successful in the course, which is really what I'm hoping. Last summer, I gave this course in this format, and everyone ended up finishing the course successfully, and I was very proud of that. But that is going to require some diligence on your part to make sure that you spread your workload out evenly over these 5 weeks and avoid the temptation to push something so that you have an overwhelming amount of things to do in an unreasonable amount of time to do them. Right, so we'll just continue scrolling down here. I've got some information. I said this in the other video about the optional text, so that's linked here. I've already talked in the optional video about the lecture videos, so there's some information there. I'm just going to kind of briefly touch on these. It's an online course, and so of course you need a computer with a reliable internet connection and so on, so I'll leave that section to you. I want this video to be mainly about how I'm going to be assigning your course grades. I talked in the other video about some places where you can find calculators and software. I hope you use Desmos a lot. I like you to get used to using spreadsheets to do some of the calculations that we do in this course. This is an Area BGE course. So if you haven't already done it, successfully completing this course will satisfy your CSU lower division mathematics general education requirement. You can see what the general education learning outcomes are there in that paragraph. I said this in the other video, but I strongly encourage you to acquire this optional text and to use it to do at least the Tier 1 suggested homework problems. You can see exactly what I mean by that in the other video. If you're continuing on in Math 110 and 210, you'll also use this book, so you might as well buy it now and get used to it. So I'll leave that kind of using the textbook section to yourself. And now the part that I wanted to focus on in this video, the graded course components. There are just 2 of them. So I've set this course up administratively rather simply. So one of the graded course components is the section assignments. So I talked about those in the other video. You can check out the details of them there. There are 10 of them. They're not designed to be kind of opened up, worked all the way through, and then closed. Rather, they're kind of long. So each one of those 10 section assignments has a lot of problems. And the way I had it in mind is that you would work on a couple of them, take a break, look at some videos, move on, work on a couple of them, because they cover multiple sections in the book. Each section assignment covers up to 2 or 3 sections in the book. All right. So you can look at the due dates and the assignment details in the assignment section that's linked here, or you can also click it on the main navigation. All right, they're going to be the majority of your course grade. If I can fit it in the bottom of the screen here, 70% of your course grade is going to depend on your performance in those section assignments. Okay, it's a typo down here, section quizzes. It should say section assignments. I'll fix that, but I won't restart the video here. Okay, in those things, you're going to be working in the MyOpenMath environment, and you can, again, I want to say you can come and go. All right, so you can save your work and come back. You can always submit work as long as it's done before the due date. Make sure you save your work. I am going to make it so that once that due date passes, you can no longer submit work in the section assignment. However, I am going to give you 5 so-called late passes. All right. So each section assignment will have an option where you can use a late pass. You have to use that late pass before the deadline of the assignment. So once the deadline comes, it's over. So you need to pace yourself and make sure you're paying attention to it. In the event that you need a little bit extra time, half the time I'm giving you, so 5 out of the 10 section assignments, you can give yourself a 24-hour bump. You can add 24 hours to the due date, provided that you do that before the due date passes, okay? Also, in each problem in the section assignment, you can attempt each problem 3 times, right? So if you try something, I do this for a couple of reasons, because in my opinion, the more you're thinking about math, the better you're going to get at it. So I don't mind giving you extra chances. And it's also an online system. It's very robust. I think you're going to like it. It's very user-friendly, but sometimes there's just sort of a technical issue that creeps up, and I don't want you to feel like you lost points on your assignment. So you can try it again. And in fact, in these section assignments, after those 3 times, if you still haven't gotten the correct answer, I'm going to give you the option to pick a new problem, a problem that's like the one you've been looking, and you get 3 more times for that. So basically, if you're willing to put in the time to keep trying until you get it right, you can get perfect scores on all of these section quiz assignments. That is, you can get a perfect score on 70% of your course grade by doing that. Okay, so I'm setting you up to win here. I'd like everybody to be successful in this class, and being successful means basically being willing to keep putting in time on task, keep doing the math. Okay, in addition to the section assignments, there is going to be a final exam. That final exam is also done on MyOpenMath, but the rules are going to be a little different. Okay, so it will open on the last day of the course, Friday, June 30th. I would strongly encourage you to have all of the section assignments due before Friday, the June 30th, so that on Friday, June 30th, the only thing you have to be thinking about is this exam. Okay, it's going to become available at 8 a.m. and it has to be completed by midnight. So I'm leaving some flexibility because I don't know what your schedule is on June 30th. But once you open the final exam, you have 2 hours to complete it. Okay, so unlike the section quiz assignments, the final exam is going to be timed. You're going to have 2 hours to complete the final exam. The clock starts when you open it. Also, unlike the section quiz assignments, you'll only get 2 attempts on each problem. You will not be able to select a new problem after those 2 attempts. So it really is just a set of problems that you get to try. Each one of them you get to try up to 2 times. I don't think the technical issues will be that big of a deal, because by this time you'll have mastered MyOpenMath by the time you're taking the final exam. But on the final exam, in your first attempt, if you get it wrong, there will be a 50% penalty on that attempt, right? So each problem is going to be basically like worth a point. And if you get the problem correctly, not in the first try, but the second try, you're going to get a half a point. If you don't get the problem correct in either of the first 2 tries, then you'll get no points. All right. So the final exam is really sort of a final assessment to see how you've assimilated the material. So I would strongly encourage you, it's not a super long exam. 2 hours is a very reasonable amount of time to get it done. And I would encourage you to be working those problems on paper with a pencil, double checking each one of your answers before you input it into MyOpenMath to see if it's right or wrong. It might be kind of a different strategy than you were using in the section assignments, because there you just get to keep trying and trying and trying. So I'm just saying, if you get into the habit of kind of working quickly and seeing if it's right, that might not work out as a good strategy on the final. The final is more designed to be think deeply, work carefully, double check your answers, input it once. Okay. The final exam is going to be 30% of your course grade. A little bit below that, I'll just use the usual breakdown to determine your letter grade. I'll let you read the details there. We use plus minus systems here at Cal Poly Humboldt, and in particular, the minimum passing grade for the course, if you need to get credit for it for GE or move on to Math 110, is a C minus, which requires 70% total. The Canvas gradebook will be current throughout the entire course. You'll always know where you stand. Okay, I'm not going to go over the rest of the syllabus line by line, but there is some very important information down here. I hope you'll check it out. Learning outcomes, university policies on things like academic dishonesty, some resources for students with disabilities, what to do in an emergency, and so on. And then I tried to write some sage advice. Maybe you'll check it out about how to be successful in a mathematics course. All right. So having said that, this is the third of the 3 videos I made to get you oriented to the course. You're all set to do your introduction assignment and your formatting quiz. And I wish you the very, very best and an enriching calculus experience this summer at Cal Poly Humboldt. So thanks for listening.